Hello and welcome to this very special episode of the International Agenda presented by the BJ Show. As always, I'm your host, Aidan Barry, and the March Madness bracket has been released, and I'm about to go through the bracket team by team and go through my predictions for the first week of games and see who makes it into that Sweet 16. We are going to start with the South region, and the number one ranked team in the South is the Auburn Tigers. They have been a very strong team this year. They are a very strong team this year. I think they're going to definitely be in that Sweet 16. They are going to be there, and they could go into that Final Four as well. They will play the winner of the 16 Final Four game for the South, which is between Alabama State and St. Francis University. So the winner of that game in the first four will play Auburn in the South. The next matchup down the bracket is Louisville, 8-ranked Louisville versus 9-ranked Creighton. I'm going to be going with the Creighton Blue Jays on this one. I just feel like Creighton, they're a team who do take a bit of a scalp in March Madness here and there, so I think they definitely have an opportunity playing against Louisville. The second quarter of the South bracket is 5 Michigan versus 12 UC San Diego, and I think Michigan will be the stronger team and prevail here quite comfortably. We now go to the 4th-ranked Texas A&M playing the 13th-ranked Yale. And I think Texas A&M, strong team, I think they'll do fine just like Auburn will, just like Michigan will. I think they're going to be quite strong in the opening game. Next game in the South bracket is Ole Miss, and they're playing another Final Four or First Four contender. So in the 11th-ranked game for the South bracket, it is going to be San Diego State versus North Carolina. I think that North Carolina are going to beat San Diego State. They will become the 11th-ranked team in the South. And if North Carolina do get in, I see them going over our friends Ole Miss in that 6v11 game. So North Carolina going in over Ole Miss. Continuing to the bottom half of the South, we have Iowa State versus Lipscomb. Lipscomb, team that came in as a champion in their conference versus Iowa State, the 3rd-ranked team in the South. Strong side Iowa State. I think they can easily go over Lipscomb. Next game in the South is 7 Marquette versus 10 New Mexico. I think New Mexico is going to take some scalps this year. They are a sneaky program. Marquette, again, very strong program, historically strong program, but I think New Mexico this year, if we're looking for carnage, I think New Mexico is one of those teams that's going to create some carnage. Final game in the South bracket. Number 2, Michigan State plays number 15, Bryant. Michigan State, too big, too strong. They are going to be all over Bryant, and this is going to be one quick game. We will now move down the bracket to the West bracket. So in the West bracket, the 1st-ranked team in the West, Florida Gators. They play Norfolk State. Florida, I think, comfortably go over here. They've been one of the stronger programs all season in college basketball, and it shouldn't be too hard of a game for them to get over. Now, next on the bracket, we have probably one of my favorite games of the first round. It's number 8, University of Connecticut, playing number 9, the University of Oklahoma. I don't know how this one's going to go. This is going to be a very even game. I don't really mind who wins, but for the sake of it, I'm going to say that UConn goes over OU. Down the bracket we go. Number 5, the Memphis Tigers play Colorado State, who are the 12th-ranked team. I reckon Colorado State can take this. I'm going to put Colorado State over Memphis in this bracket. Next up, number 4, Maryland playing number 13, Grand Canyon. Maryland very strong. Grand Canyon, again, a weaker conference champion, but they could pose a threat, but I'm going to say Maryland get over. I think Maryland, again, are a team who could reach the Elite 8 and cause some carnage down as we go further along. We go to the bottom half of the West bracket. Number 6, Mizzou playing number 11, Drake. This is a tough game to call. Mizzou, a strong basketball team, an upcoming basketball team. I think they go over Drake here. I think they're just going to be too strong playing out of the SEC. As we go down, we have number 3, Texas Tech playing number 14, UNC Wilmington. Texas Tech, the Red Raiders, too strong, too big. They are going to beat Wilmington quite easily there. Sorry about that. Now, the final quarter of the bracket in the West region, we have number 7 Kansas playing number 10 Arkansas. Kansas, Arkansas, another good game. I'm going to say that Kansas, a strong team with a lot of tradition, is going to take that one. And then the bottom game in the West, St. John's versus Omaha. Peyton Manning would love that place. But we are going to go with St. John's. St. John's, a very strong basketball program, deservedly number 2 in the West. They are one of the teams to look out for. I think they could be another team who makes it to that Sweet 16 phase. We'll sling it across the bracket and we will go all the way up to the East region. The number 1 ranked team in the East, the Duke Blue Devils. And they will play a first 4 qualifier who are going for East region rank 16, and it's the American versus Mount St. Mary's Universities. That's a tough game to call. I don't really know much about either of those sides. If I was to take a bet, I would say I'm going to go with Mount St. Mary's. I think they are slightly just as strong a side than the American, and they are going to be deservedly playing against Duke. Duke, however, will win that game, I feel. They are a very, very strong team, and they've got a lot to prove this year. Cooper Flag there as well, so I see them probably going all the way down to the Final Four. That's my first Final Four lock, will be Duke University. Again, one of my favourite brackets in the whole March Madness is the 8v9 game. On the East region, we have Mississippi State playing Baylor. Baylor, I think, have got this one. Baylor, very strong basketball team, very strong academic program, very strong athletic program as well down there in Baylor. So they will go over Mississippi State, and they will take on Duke in the round of 32. Next part of the draw, we have number 5 Oregon playing number 12 Liberty. Liberty, strong game. Liberty, very good team. I think Liberty could go over Oregon there, so I'm going to put Liberty down into that round of 32, and we say Oregon will be out at the first hurdle. Number 4, Arizona versus number 13 Akron. Arizona will go over. They're a very good team. They're a very strong team. Akron, again, they're a very good team. And not disrespecting any teams here. I think that Arizona are just going to be dominant. They're going to take their time. They're going to take their chances a lot more than Akron will in the game. But that's the reason why Arizona will go over Akron. They're strong. They're well coached. And they take a lot of good shot choices down in Arizona, so they don't waste their possessions. Bottom half of the East. BYU versus VCU, and I think we're going to have a little bit of carnage on our hands here. VCU taking on BYU and beating them to advance to the round of 32. Next game, we have Wisconsin versus Montana. Wisconsin will win that one quite comfortably, but as I say with all these teams, when I say they're going to win that one quite comfortably, it's March Madness. It never happens. Every game's close. C's get knocked over. We don't know what's going to happen. Number 7 St. Mary's plays number 10 Vanderbilt in the bottom half, in the bottom quarter bracket of the East region, and it's going to be St. Mary's going over Vandy in this one. St. Mary's a very outsider basketball program, but very good in their own right. They will beat Vanderbilt. It'll be a close game, that's for sure, but I think they're just going to have the legs to get over them in the end. Then the bottom half of the East, the last draw in the East, number 2 Alabama versus number 15 Robert Morris University. Alabama will go over here. They are a strong program. They are traditionally a football program. They've come into basketball the last couple of years, again dominated down the SEC, get a 2 rank for the tournament, and they're going to be another team who I see the East bracket final. So the East bracket matchup in that Final Four, in that Elite 8, will be between Alabama and Duke. We go down to the final bracket, the Midwest bracket. Number 1 in the Midwest bracket, Houston Cougars. They play SIU Edwardsville. Houston surely have to win this. Houston looking to, become a strong team in basketball as well as football, just like Alabama. They are looking out to get a win there, and they should surely get a win. Next game in the Midwest region, we have number 8 Gonzaga playing number 9 Georgia. Georgia, I think, are a team who are trying to get some credibility in basketball. They are a very good athletic program, and I think that's, now we're going to start to see these SEC teams come in. We're going to start to see the Alabamas of the world come in and cause carnage. We're going to see the Georgias of the world come into the tournament and do well. So they will beat Gonzaga there. Second quarter of the top half of the Midwest region, we have number 5 Clemson versus number 12 McNeese. Clemson, I think, again, one of the stronger powerhouses. If we're ranking all the teams by powerhouse strengths, Clemson's definitely up there. Clemson will go over McNeese in the long run, the final couple of minutes of that game. Now we have number 4 Purdue versus High Point. And Purdue do with Purdue. They are going to win that game quite well. They are my pick to be in the Final Four in this region. In that Midwest bracket, they will come out to the Final Four. We go down to the bottom half of the Midwest now. So we have number 6 Illy versus the qualifier in the Midwest for that 11 ranked team between Texas and Xavier. I think Texas will win that game. They will play Illinois, and I think Texas will beat Illinois in that 6v11 game in the Midwest. They will have the winner of that game will have the winner of 3 Kentucky versus 14 Troy. Kentucky all day. Gotta take UK here. This is a very strong Kentucky team. I think they're 3 ranked for a reason, and they deservedly go over Troy here and start to step up into the second round of games and into that second week. Bottom quarter of the Midwest region, the final 2 games we have the number 7 ranked UCLA versus number 10 ranked Utah State. I'm going to take Utah State in this one. I don't know why. I just think they're a little bit stronger, a little bit better for tournament play conditions. I think that UCLA are a very strong team in their own right, but I think if we're expecting carnage, this is a game where there could be a bit of carnage. So number 10 Utah State will go over number 7 UCLA. And the final game of the episode, the final game in the first round, number 2 Tennessee playing number 15 Wofford. Tennessee will be playing in the Elite 8 game in the region bracket final against Purdue. They are strong enough to get there. So the region bracket final, the Elite 8 game for the Midwest will be Purdue versus Tennessee. Tennessee will go over Wofford, and then they will beat the winner of UCLA and Utah State. But that's my predictions for the first week of March Madness. I hope you all enjoyed the episode. I will be back next week doing the second week of action, seeing how my tips for the first week of games held up, and then going Sweet 16 through to the champions of this year's March Madness tournament. But as always, thank you for listening to the International Agenda. I'm your host, Aidan Barry, and that's all for now.